Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Press. We are reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. We'll go straight to our papers, analyzing the stories that we read out to you earlier. We have Richard Oriri. He is a journalist. Great to have you on the show today again.
It's my pleasure.
It's lovely to have you in the studio.
Quite a long time.
You're welcome.
All right, so viewers, our phone lines are open. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Quite a number of things to talk about, but we'll try to manage our time. And we'll start with the National Assembly leadership. Looks like the tussle for leadership in the 10th Assembly keeps getting, the heat keeps getting hotter every day. Yesterday we saw the clash at plenary between the Speaker of the House of Rep, that's Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, and Honorable Idris Wasi. And I recall Idris Wasi saying the way he blatantly refused the consensus candidate that was sent to them from their party. So what are your thoughts? Let's start with that. What are your thoughts in all of that? All of a sudden, there's now a scuttle between the once upon a time good relationship is now having fracas.
My sister Annabel, it's all about politics. It's politics. Politics is what is playing out in the National Assembly, especially like the House of Representatives. If you look at it, whether was it on the 8th of May or so, the leadership of APC came out openly to declare their interest for the position of a Speaker and Senate President. They zoned the speakership to Northwest, while Senate President was zoned to South. And since then, the Wase as a person is a contestant. He's from the North Central, from Plateau State. He said, why will the leadership of APC zone the speakership of House of Representatives to Northwest and leaving North Central open? But even if a speaker is coming to the North Central, must it be Wase? The altercation between Wase and his principal, who is Femi Gbajabiamila, yesterday was an embarrassment to Nigerians, and that shows. I hear you
say must it be Wase. Why wasn't it be Wase?
It mustn't be. It wasn't. See, as a person, as a Nigerian, I am on the street, and okay. We just came out of the general election. Mm-hmm. If you look at what is on ground, what is before us now as a country, the president-elect, Olamide Tinubu, is a Muslim, mm-hmm. and the vice president-elect is a Muslim. And now, in the wisdom of the National Working Committee of APC, they said the Senate president has to come from the Christian family. And that's why they have to zone it to South, and now it's favoring Akpabio. Okay.
So why is it an issue now? Before, when they had the Muslim ticket, it was all about, it's not about religion, it is about competence. So why are we bringing religion again?
No. There's no, you can't throw religion away. In a country like Nigeria, what is binding us together? We are a country that respects culture. What binds us together as a country today is we are from a different cultural background, and the sharp division among Christian and Muslim today in the country, there's no how you just throw it away like that.
I'm not saying I'm saying they did.
Even the whole Nigeria, nobody can throw that away. Even if you are not pronouncing it, you know quite well that there's so much division between Christian and Muslim. And in the sharing of political offices, you have to consider the both religion, even other religions, even ethnic groups. You have to. In democracy, there is no how you wish away inclusion. If you want to throw away inclusion of every segment, then you are not democratic. And what is the leadership of...
Talking about inclusion that you just mentioned.
Yes.
Throwing away inclusion is like... zoning is already throwing away inclusion. So why not just let everybody throw their hearts into the ring and let the best man win? What about that place?
No. You can't. It's not done that way. It's not like now we have these geopolitical zones. The president has already been elected. The president is already our elected president now is from the southwest.
Yes.
Okay. The vice president elect is from the northeast. Remaining 4 other geopolitical zones, which is north central, northwest, and southeast. Now, Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives has been zoned to Southeast and narrowed to Abia State. Benjamin Kalu has been anointed by the leadership of APC. And Speaker of the House of Representatives has been zoned to Northwest.
Has he
and
been
narrowed
anointed?
to Kaduna State.
Has he been anointed?
Because I heard the APC
chairman. Has he been anointed?
Yes, and
but the APC chairman is saying otherwise.
Dr. Tejuddin Abbas from Zezo in Kaduna State has been anointed.
You're not answering
the
our
APC
question.
chairman is saying otherwise.
The APC chairman cannot say otherwise.
He said otherwise.
He's not APC.
He actually did say otherwise.
He is not APC. He is an individual among the NWC. And only his vote can stand.
But you can't wish away his own power, right?
Power? Who gave him the power? Who gave him the power? The entire members of APC as a body gave him the power. And he cannot operate in isolation. NWC, National Working Committee of the party. He is the chairman of that committee, yes. But there's no how his own decision can stand. He can't have his way. When they have a two-third majority of the NWC members agreeing to a point, only the chairman's decision cannot stand in any decision taken by NWC.
What he said is
is an opinion, personal opinion of his.
Richard, what he said is that Tajuddin Abbas is not the anointed speaker.
No. I was there.
He said he is in the race.
I was there and I listened to him. He was diplomatic in what he was saying. Because what he said, actually, in the real sense of it, wasn't that Tajuddin Abbas is not the anointed candidate. What he said was that
in the race. It shouldn't be paraded yet.
No. See, supporters of Tajuddin Abbas,
okay,
they are calling Tajuddin Abbas, Dr. Tajuddin Abbas, Speaker. He said he's
not
his
supporter. That doesn't make him the speaker.
No, that is what the national chairman is saying. That he's not the speaker yet until after the election. They formalize it on the 13th of June.
In your opinion, is the anointed candidate?
He's the anointed candidate, even by NWC and by majority of the elected members of House of Representatives. Tajuddin Abbas is the anointed. And from what just yesterday, you see the minority caucus from PDP, from NNPP, from Labour Party. There are about 63 members elect of the minority caucus, led by Ikenga Ugochinyere.
The office of
they have declared their support wholeheartedly to
the office of the Speaker and the Senate President now is beginning to sound like an appointed position and not an elected position.
It's not an issue of appointed position. Once zoning is done, and there are individuals from such areas, you will put everyone from that particular zone on the table for selection by those qualified to do the election. As we speak now, the 109 senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they are the one now that have the power to elect whoever will be the Senate President on behalf of the entire country. And in the House of Representatives, we have 360 House of Representative members. And out of these 360 House of Representative members, one is dead, one or two died. So now we have 358 members that will, on the 13th of June, go to the House during the inauguration of the House to elect their principals, which will be the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives, and other principal offices.
So why not allow it to get to that time
before? These 358 members now that will elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker on behalf of you and I, they are the one now that will decide from among all these contestants. Now that the party have zoned it to Northwest, does not foreclose the fact that anybody from other section of the country cannot contest. Nobody is stopping them not to contest. But if you are contesting, it means you are not a party person.
Okay. So
party have done this in the interest of the party. Every political party have their manifesto. And the party have its reasons for zoning this position, principal position of House of Representatives to Northwest.
All right.
So,
all right.
if
so
like
let's leave the story
like
about
Betara is from Northwest. Betara is from Borno State.
Let's leave the story about the
It's
speakership.
from Northeast.
There are other
Betara is from
positions.
Northeast, so he's out.
Let's leave the story about the speakership. Let's talk about the Senate. Now, I recall having a conversation with the SA to Kano State Governor, and then he said that the reason why they picked Senator Godswill Akpabio, because I asked the reason why Godswill Akpabio, despite the show of shame and entertainment that happened in July a few years ago, where we had the story about the honorable off your mic, when they had the probe of the NDDC 81 point something billion naira. So why him? Why not somebody else? Why not all those people speaking, chanting Emilokon? And then he said, and quote, that the reason why he was picked is because that region, Akwa Ibom, especially the South, they gave the president-elect enough support that made him come into governance. So are you giving him people? Is that supposed to be some kind of compensation then?
My sister, the reason for the choice of Akpabio, there are too many.
Please.
The reason for the choice of Akpabio, there are too many.
Indulge us.
One, in the South, completely, let's say South now, Senate President is zoned to South. And the leadership of APC NWC have narrowed it to South. From this South, how many senators of APC senators from this South have that as a second time, and let's just say as second timers? It's only Akpabio. Senator from former national chairman of APC, Adams Oshomole, is from Edo State.
Yes.
He is a first timer. And the rule of the House
has to be a ranking
has
senator.
Kicked him out. And if you could say, okay, let us leave it open for South and Southeast to contest, then we will have Orji Okalu from Southeast.
Akpabio contesting.
I am a politician. Even that I am a politician. And as a politician, the president-elect is not just a politician. He is a grounded politician. And the worst person you will fight in this world, devil. And after devil, politicians. Now, if you look at before the primary election of APC, where was Orji Okalu? Orji Okalu was not with the president-elect. He was with Lawa. He was even the campaign director of Lawa.
So are you saying this is given because of compensation?
Not issue of giving because of compensation.
Okay, so
now Orji Okalu, before you and I, last year or so, he was in Kuje prison. Narrowly, he came out again. If you give Orji Okalu the Senate president now, it means you are giving the Senate president to an ex-convict.
So what about someone who's been accused?
The alleged 8.81 billion naira from the NDDC coffers that was with that show of shame that happened recently.
Has he been convicted? It's an allegation which has not been proven by any competent court of law.
Okay, Mr.
It's just a mere allegation.
Would you say it's because you don't want to give it to an ex-convict when you're mentioning Orji Okalu, or because they are also looking at it from the perspective of that region barely supported the president-elect?
Like what I said earlier, this Senate president of a team is something that has to do with, one, national unity have to be put into consideration.
Okay, I like that.
We have to put national unity into consideration.
Good.
Now the president is from southwest. The vice president is from northeast. Okay, Senate president has to go to either south or southeast. And now if the Senate president ordinarily we go to southeast, I didn't mean they have another ranking senator from the southeast. Ordinarily, I know who Tinubu is. He would have taken it as supported the zoning of a Senate president to Southeast.
In your words.
But as it is now, even you, Annabel, You are a Nigerian
I'm a
first.
Nigerian, yes.
Yes, and you're from the southeast.
I am a Nigerian.
Majority of the southeasterners, they are not in support of even Orji Kalu becoming Senate president. They have their reasons.
So
they are not in support of Orji Kalu becoming.
In your
so
words,
if you give the Senate president to even Orji Kalu, the Igbos will not see it that you have given them anything.
So
they value the deputy speaker of the House of Representatives zone to southeast more than even Senate president giving to Orji Kalu.
Let me borrow his words.
I'm a journalist and I am on the street.
Off your mic. So in your words,
yes,
Senator Orji Kalu is not a ranking senator. In your words, that's what you just said.
Orji Kalu is a ranking senator.
No,
but other qualifications, let's say if you give it to him as a ranking senator, so does he have the support of his people from the southeast that without the tension in the southeast is now? That okay, we have been compensated with Senate president. Igbos will not see Orji Kalu
and you're also
as their own, even if you give it to him.
Why wouldn't they see him as their own? Or are you categorizing him as an ex-convict? So therefore,
I'm not categorizing. One is an ex-convict.
We're only bringing back your words.
One, he's an ex-convict. Secondly, he has no support of the southeasterners that will make Nigerians and even make APC as a party to see that if Senate president is given to Orji Kalu, who is from the southeast now, the southeasterners will say that yes, at least they have been compensated.
All right.
Then the national inclusion, the inclusion that we are talking about in democracy, Igbos have been incorporated into it. But what I am telling you now is that Barrister Benjamin Kalu, that has been anointed by NWC to be the next deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, he's enjoying massive support of the southeasterners. More than Orji Kalu, who is vying and who has ventilated his interest to become the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yesterday, you see it very openly when Ugochinyere gathered in good number of the minority Senate House of Representatives elect caucus to declaring their support for Benjamin Kalu and Dr. Tajuddin Abbas on national television. How many of the senators from the southeast have come together to say we are in support of Orji Kalu?
Senator Ifeanyi Ubah said
I say how many of them? How many of them? How many of them? How many?
Okay, so let's take, according to the incumbent Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, that's Honorable Ahmed Idris Wasi, he said, unquote, he says, when you say you have a consensus candidate, the language for consensus is that there have been mass consultations. People go to the table for discussion. There is agreement in this case. We just saw and we are hearing rumors, speculations that some people have been made consensus candidate. Further stated that I don't know whether it is that's the meaning of consensus candidate. This is a very sacred place. We are honorables in our actions and defense of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help us and help probably
when it was his turn, when it was Wase's turn in 2019. Wase benefited from the same consensus and zoning arrangement. Not everybody was in the inner house when the decision was taken in his favor.
All right, let's quickly take this call before we go ahead.
To make it very clear.
Let's take this call first. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Plateau State.
Okay, tell us your name. Please turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you clearly.
I'm calling from Jos, Plateau State.
All right, go ahead.
Hello?
You have 60 seconds.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I want to comment on someone that is commenting now.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Because that person is a fool. You don't know what he's saying. Yeah. Because if that person don't know what is happening and he cannot know politics, what is politics? Politics is all about of the people and hello?
I think I might have to let you go. Turn down the volume of your TV set. There's no point trying to hear yourself and trying to hear us.
The caller called from Jos. Maybe he's one of the supporters of Wase. Let me tell him, I am from Benue State and I am a North Central man. And Wase, who is saying consensus and all of this, he benefited from consensus arrangement.
Okay.
And the way Nigeria is now, we have so much broken walls in this country. And Wase, from his antecedents, he's not the best person, even from the North Central, even if the Speaker of the House of Representatives is zoned to North Central, to lead Nigeria House of Representatives as a speaker at this point in time of our history.
Why so?
The reason is that Wase is known to be a religious fanatic. Wase have displayed this on several occasions. He's known to be a religious fanatic. It's something that he has displayed on national television on several occasions.
That's a slander on isn't it? You know. I
am telling you, it's not a slander. When one House of Representative member from Oyo State in 2021 or so, when NSAS arrangement was on ground, when NSAS protest was going on, was presided over the House of Representative plenary. And what did they do? He shot Shinapela from Oyo State. He shot him down on the issue of national issue. Somebody who wants to talk, he has low temperament, and anything coming from Christian angle, Wase don't even want to hear it. Go and investigate. Go as a journalist. Go and ask. Even up to 70% of the 360 members of a House of Representatives elect, old and even new one, the old one more especially, to tell you his display on the floor of the National Assembly.
All right.
As a deputy speaker of House of Representatives, we don't want somebody that is not religious friendly in this country as we speak now.
Okay,
if you look at Dr. Benjamin, Dr. Tejude Abbas, his principal secretary is from Southeast. He's an Igbo lady, a Christian. His driver is a Christian from the Southwest.
Okay, so thank you so much. Let's not start campaigning.
And if you want to talk of capacity, capacity as a House of Representatives member,
all right,
just not as not a member of, say I'm a member of House of Representatives. How many bills is attached to Wase as a member of House of Representatives? How many bills has he sponsored? Tejude Abbas has sponsored over 92 bills.
I think we can move on away from that. There's this headline on the Nigerian Tribune. It says 5 days to go. Buhari seeks Senate approval to pay $556 million, 98 million pounds, and 226 billion naira judgment debts. Just 5 days to go.
And on the flip side, I would like you to take this one side by side with that question that she asked. Vanguard newspaper says, pressure on me. I can't wait for May 29th. All of a sudden, President Muhammadu Buhari can't wait to leave.
Is this bill also part of the pressure, this debt he wants to pay off?
That debt, paying of debt, is not coming from Buhari. I have said this on several occasions on this platform. It's coming from the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federation. He is the one taking that money, not Buhari. Buhari will be aware, he will tell, because he respects him.
Are you actually accusing?
Yes, it's about payment of a debt to consultants and all of this for judgments and all that to federal government. Who are these consultants?
Are you saying that money is being siphoned to his private account?
It's a stolen fund. They are just stealing it.
That's
let them defend it now. I am a Nigerian, and I have the right to question whichever fund they are taking from the central port of Nigeria. I have the right to say it, and I am saying it as a citizen who is part of joint owner of this fund.
You should say that someone who has an evidence.
No, it's just 5 days to go.
But
who are these people? Who are these people that is approving this money?
These statements you're making are just speculations, because without facts and without evidence, I don't think that
it's on national daily. It's on national daily. If they have no fact, in journalism, you don't publish in doubt.
All right, let's take this call.
Hello, good morning. You don't publish in doubt.
Yeah, Annabel, Alhassan, beautiful morning to you.
Beautiful morning to you.
Good morning. You are on to Assembly from Lagos.
Assembly from Lagos, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richard. Thank you very much for your analysis, even though I think the network has issues. It's just of recent that the network returned, so I don't know something that's supposed to be paid every year. Every year. Like he made mention. Why is it now that the Attorney General is presenting this? That's the question. Number two, in some issues, there are so many allegations against this Attorney General. You understand? So many things are going wrong. But the question now is, why is it that the man is delaying this until now? That's the question. And then secondly, if we continue this way, believe in me, the incoming government will not be allowed to proceed on the goods and the expectations of Nigerians in terms of development and the social amenities and so on and so forth. Because they are on the same platform. They came from the same umbrella. So these are the things that at least the government needs to do. In fact, there are so many panel of inquiry needs to be set by the next coming administration so that they should allow them to continue their work while the panel is doing their own. So also, there is need for at least a martial court so that the cases might not be delayed. All these things need to put in place because there are so many expectations in the incoming government. And with this kind of challenges, believe in me, the government will spend 4 years without showing anything to show up, which we are not paying for because they claim under the same umbrella.
All right.
Something has to be done. Thank you very much. I remain Assembly from Lagos.
Thank you, Assembly from Lagos. Thank you. We wish you all the best. Also, let's take this next call. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Are you there? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, please turn down the volume of your TV set or move away from it so we can hear you.
My name is Benjamin from Plateau.
Benjamin from Plateau State. Go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
During on the plateau, we are not supporting.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
He's not supposed to be there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin from Jos. Your point is well noted. Please don't make your thoughts.
Just as I was saying, like the other caller before this last caller said, what they are doing, the outgoing government, administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, they are just behaving as if it's another political party that have taken over, that is coming to take over from them, trying to dry the account, the federation account before they leave office. In fact, I like the Olamide Tinubu, the way he's behaving. If I were him, I will give directive to CBN, to any monetary agency of this country. If you release 1 naira to all this approval they are giving here, left, right, and center, if you give approval, you will be held responsible for it. He can give that order, and no approval will be given for any fund to be released to anybody. They are just stealing our money. 5 days, 3 days to go. Well, look at the other day, approval for this aviation say this is coming. This one say this. Just
are you not happy that Nigeria
left,
is
right,
coming?
and center. Why are they in a hurry? Why are they in a hurry now? They have 8 years. Why are they in a hurry? Siphoning our phones. Like the last caller just said. He has been, in fact, have been vindicated. He called from Plateau State. Nobody close to Wasi. We want Wasi to lead any session of this, any government agency at all in this country as we speak now, because we need wound healing.
All right.
Wound healings across board now.
Okay. Let's move over to other stories before we round up. Our time is fast spent. Daily Trust says FEC OKs or approves multi-billion naira power project in Daura and others. And I'm asking, why is it in Daura? Does it have anything to do with President Muhammadu Buhari's home country? That's one on the side. And then after 17 months probe, Reps panel failed to ascertain daily petrol consumption. And it really beats my imagination. After 17 months, I've been following that probe, and yet we still don't know how many liters or our daily consumption in Nigeria. Isn't it quite sad? What are your thoughts?
Probe. all this committee of inquiry and all of these setting up, if they are aggrieved, the probe, who are the people carrying out the probe? President National Assembly. The moment they are not carried along in the stealing, they will shout, okay, let us investigate. The moment they go on the ground, discussing with them, how much will come to you, how much will come to this person, you see everything dying down. There will be no report of anything that will favor Nigeria from the probe.
But isn't it quite sad that we don't even know how
why you are not seeing any report? Why you are not seeing any positive result from the probe? It's because they have settled on your behalf, on my behalf, what goes to their individual pocket. And that is the reason for the probe. Not that they are probing to serve you and I. They are not probing to serve you and I. They are probing to serve their pocket. That is just my submission to that. But my prayer is that I like what is happening now. The president-elect is taking note of everything that is happening now. He's not just a politician who will come and take charge of politics. He's coming to take charge both politics and even governance. He knows the two. He can merge. He is not even looking at what they are doing. No matter what, even if they want to clear up our account one day, Monday is 29th. No matter what they do, they can never rewind their time again.
All right.
They will go.
With this statement you're making,
and I pray that if he comes, if he takes over, let him, in fact, investigate most of these stealings going on.
This statement
we are not happy.
You sound really optimistic of the incoming
in fact,
administration.
you sound like the spokesperson today.
Yes, and our guest yesterday too was so optimistic when we're talking about the May 29th, handover. It's beginning to sound like a lot is going to happen and President Muhammadu Buhari won't be missed. Are you of the same opinion? Because with the way you're expressing yourself, it may sound as though you already have a very high expectation.
Coming out of these wounds of the current administration.
Do not also forget that they are still the same party.
They are the same party, but different ideology, different political philosophy. Even identical twins can never think the same. I don't think there is any government that will be as worse as this current government that we are.
But then Daily Trust says we gave our best. President tells cabinet members.
You are just raising my leg. Gave their best.
I'm doing my job, asking you a question.
They gave their best, but Nigerians are saying that they have done nothing. Is it security? They failed. Economy? They failed. Just February 2023, before the election, they came up with a redesigning of our currency. Released a lot of billions for the redesigning of the currency. No currency has been redesigned. Nigerians went through pains that period. No currency has been redesigned. We are not seeing any currency in circulation. But the money approved, where is the money? Nobody is questioning. Is it a railway? Where are we? Go to aviation. Crisis everywhere. Health sector. Just 2 days ago, that they said they have a resolve with medical workers and all of that. Every day, they have given it one name now, Japa syndrome. Nigerians are leaving the country. Not just that, they have direction of where they are going. The interest is, I have left. Even if it is Congo that you are going.
What is wrong with going
I have left. Once they leave, you will call, my brother, where are you? Your number is not Nigeria number again. I'm in Cameroon. What are you doing there? I just want to leave Nigeria. It's a problem. It has never happened like this before in our history.
So you're optimistic that there will be better days?
I am very, very, very optimistic. Since Bola Ahmed Tinubu left Lagos as a governor, Lagos state government as governor, there have been improvement upon improvement. And there are people that worked under him that he assisted to take over. Like after him, Fashola came on board. Fashola was his chief of staff. And after Fashola, it was Ambode. Ambode was either commissioner or something under him. After Ambode, now it's Sanwo-Olu. Sanwo-Olu was seeing God and improvement upon improvement. If you go to Lagos State, if not Rivers State, I don't think there's any state in Nigeria that is developed up to Lagos.
All right.
So if you have seen, if you can check from this antecedent of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, most of the people performing somehow in this government, they are people trained by Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Before we leave this, I want to ask you a question. I recall few months ago, few days ago, you were not on this this
My
seat
thoughts too.
speaking
You know, I've
about
been looking at him and
speaking
I'm
so
wondering.
much about Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You were speaking about somebody else who you said is better,
Yes,
and will be the best president for Nigeria. That's in the person of Prince
President Prince Adewale.
So what changed in the last few minutes?
I am a
thing?
patriotic citizen. Now election has come and gone.
And you've moved.
The person I supported.
But there are still
no.
cases
The
in
person I
court.
supported did not win.
Okay.
So you moved.
He didn't win, and the one that Nigerians have selected, have so choose to be the president that they want. I have checked him, haven't elected him as their president. I have gone through, even before now, I went through what I was talking about Tinubu and my principal, who is Prince Adewale Adebayo, was one, age. Was on the side of Prince Adewale Adebayo.
So that's not a problem anymore.
And no.
It's not a challenge anymore.
You say?
You're not
The
talking
age is
about
no
that
longer a
age factor.
challenge.
It's no longer a thing
No,
of discussion.
age was not on the side of Tinubu. To me, if you talk of age, Prince Adewale Adebayo has is to his advantage. Age was to his advantage. If you talk of political experience, yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has political experience more than Prince Adewale Adebayo. If you talk of managerial experience,
at what point did you realize all this?
The both of them have managerial experience.
At what point did you realize all this?
Because as a Nigerian, since president has been elected, the one that have been elected, I have to support the one that have been elected by Nigerians.
So what happens to the one that was not elected?
Eh?
What happens to the other one that was not elected?
They will prepare again, possibly against 2027, to come and still ventilate their interests and see whether Nigerians will select them.
Let me ask you a very personal
You're
question.
actually sounding like a politician
Exactly.
right now, not in Nigeria.
Now let me ask you a very personal question. Do you have any plans to defect, to leave SDP to APC in the coming days? Because we are going to hold you to any responsibility now.
I have no plan to defect from SDP to any other political party as it is.
Okay.
But government of
says,
national unity. If government of national unity embrace other political parties like
Sorry.
what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing now, I told you he's a sound politician. The other day he met with Kwankwaso, the NNPP leader in France.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
He has met with Wike, the leader of PDP. That is to say, he want to carry everyone along.
Okay.
What we are after now is governance.
Okay.
There is nothing
So
like
you have
politics.
Mr. Oriri, I'm going to take you back to that statement you made because I'm a student of language. You said you have no plans as it is.
Yes.
As it is.
Yes.
Which means that presently,
tomorrow you might change your mind. You rescind.
No, you see, if like now, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect, after swearing, he sworn in on the Bobby on Monday now, 29th, and nominate NNPP national leader, Kwankwaso, to be the defense minister now, or to become his chief of staff. Will you now say because he has nominated him to be minister? We are not asking for him. We are asking now because he has nominated him to be minister. He is no longer an NNPP member. You can't say so. If he chooses now to say Prince Adewale Adebayo should be his Attorney General of the Federation, will you now say because he has nominated Prince Adewale Adebayo to be his Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, that Prince Adewale Adebayo is no longer an SDP member?
I like the examples.
What we are saying now is what we are saying now is how Nigeria will move from where we are to the next point which you are part of. All of us want to move from what we are seeing now in this current administration to a good place, with a good point to where Nigeria will be Nigerians will smile.
All right.
You understand? So if Bola Ahmed Tinubu he said he wants to work with technocrats. Even if you see the selection of a Speaker of a House of Representatives, he's a technocrat. From teacher, a teacher, a primary school teacher, a polytechnic lecturer, a university lecturer. Before he came to politics, since he came into politics, he is not just there. He has been proving his point on the floor of National Assembly.
You've made your point. You've made your point. So now, what you're trying to tell us is that
Nigeria will do well.
As far as we are concerned, he who plays the piper dictates the tune. So if you are asked to work for the incoming government,
I will work for Nigeria.
You will leave SDP.
Not the. I will not leave SDP, but I will work for Nigeria. I will work for Nigeria.
We will remind you this.
I will work for Nigeria.
You know, internet never forgets. Ever. We'll dig this up. I'll remind you again.
This record will be there even until I leave this one.
Let's leave this conversation and move straight to another one. Our time is fast spent. In the next 2 minutes, if you can help us. Daily Trust says federal government launches cooperative scheme for ex-Niger Delta militants with 1.5 billion naira. I recall having this conversation with an ex-militant, and then they said, okay, why shouldn't they be paid presidential amnesty? And I talked to somebody else. He said, why should they be paid presidential amnesty from taxpayers' money? Now you have 1.5 billion naira going to cooperative scheme for these same people. Is this a step in the right direction?
It's a step in the right direction. You and I, when our president, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, was elected president, and the first thing he did was to channel his interest towards Niger Delta area. You know, Niger Delta, they are the egg layers of this country. Of this country. And if the security situation in the Niger Delta is not conducive, I don't think we will produce more. Our IGR will increase.
All right, just 1 minute. Let's take this call. Just 1 minute. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Okay, please go ahead.
And to see that there is peace within the Niger Delta area, all these ex-militants, they have to be taken care of. You have asked them to drop their guns. They have accepted by dropping their guns. And if they have dropped their guns, you cannot just let them go like that. You must do one thing or two, or the one or two things to making sure that they are well taken care of. So if you're by giving them training.
If you're talking about taking care of them, how about those who are saying amnesty for bandits? Is that another good reason to give them a thought?
Amnesty for bandits.
Bandits, kidnappers.
Some of these bandits, even in the northeast, some of these bandits, they were forcefully taken from their parents to joining the banditry in the northeast. So if some of them like that who have interest in the development of this country are being captured by the Nigerian military, and they see that yes, these people can still be meaningful, be useful to the country, and they give them that orientation and train them and give them something to do to become meaningful, I don't think there's anything wrong in that. And if you go to the Niger Delta area, if you train them,
so you're saying that the bandits too can have amnesty? The
bandits, yes, and some of them who will not go back again.
Insurgents.
How do you know those who would go back?
Even in the Niger Delta, there are still some of them who don't have that patriotic spirit to
pick up their arms again.
Yes, they still went back into their creek. There are some like that. So the ones who have that patriotic zeal to remain meaningful to the country, they can give them such training and assisting them to ensure that they are okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Richard Oriri. It's been a wonderful time having this discussion with you.